Hi, and congratulations on your 2021 Nissan Altima SR. What an amazing vehicle you've got here, but you already know that. There's a ton of features in this, so we're going to go back through, refresh your memory on what you've got with your new car. And at the end, if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. All of my contact info will follow, but let's have a look at what you've got in your new Altima. We're going to start right here at the infotainment system. We've got a beautiful 8-inch touchscreen display here. All kinds of options with this. So I've got lots of audio sources here: AM, FM, satellite radio, which is free for the first 3 months, USB 1 and 2, which we can see down below is a Type-C and a traditional USB port, Bluetooth, auxiliary, and what we don't see here yet is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which you do have. They will appear once they've been connected. We're going to back out here. Something else I do want to show you is you are equipped with a navigation system, and this navigation system has free updates on it with no limits to how many updates you can do. To go through and do an update for your navigation system, I'm going to go back to one of the main screens. I'm going to press Settings, Info, and then I'm going to go over one screen and go to System Information, and then Map Update. From here I can do it by USB or by Wi-Fi. I have videos on how to do each one. If you're going to do Wi-Fi, you have to make sure that you are first connected to a Wi-Fi source. So we'll come right back out. We'll go into Connections and then Wi-Fi, and then you're just going to connect to the nearest Wi-Fi source that you're able to get connected to. Then you can go through and do it that way. To set up your phone, you're going to go into Settings, Connections, and under Bluetooth, you're going to hit Add New. On your phone, you want to go into the Settings, and then you're going to go into Bluetooth. Now, if it's an Android phone, you first need to go into Connections and then Bluetooth. Then you're looking for My Altima. Once you tap on it, you're going to get a number pop up on the screen here. Confirm the number on your phone and press Pair or Allow. From there, on an Apple phone, it'll ask you one more time to press and allow. And on an Android phone, it's going to ask you 2 more times. Now, if you have an Android phone and you have a lock screen on it, there is an additional step that you got to take where you need to go right back to the main settings and then down to either lock screen or security and then lock screen. Once you're in lock screen, you want to go to trusted devices, and then you're going to add a trusted device and you're going to add My Altima. Once you do this, you're good. If you don't do this before you hit the end of your driveway, you're going to disconnect your phone from the vehicle automatically, just because it's no longer able to read it because the lock screen will have kicked in. Now we're going to hop back to the map here for a second. If you want to set a destination, just press Destination. And then from there, enter a street address for exactly where you want to go. It's very easy. If it's out of your state or province, set that first, followed by the house number and city. Or again, if it's out of state or province, or even outside of your own city, once you've got your state or province set, then set your city and then your house number and street, and it'll make it really easy. If you're just looking for something nearby, you can go to Points of Interest, and you can see there are all kinds of categories there that are already preset to help with that. So that's your navigation system, very easy to use. And then over on the audio system, you've got all kinds of presets here, 12 of them for AM or FM, and then satellite, which I mentioned is free for the first 3 months. You've got 18 presets for that. Down below, we've got our climate control system, which is a dual climate control system. To set the passenger side, simply change the dial on the passenger side. Once your passenger hops out, press the sync button and everything will go back to the driver's side. What I do recommend is to find a temperature that you're comfortable with, that you like, press auto, and then you never have to worry about it. It will do what it has to get you up or down to that temperature as fast as possible by automatically adjusting the fan and where your airflow is going. Once you start getting close to that temperature, then it will do what it has to just maintain that temperature. Your rear defrost down here will also activate the heated side mirrors that you have. As well, my heated seats are right here, and I have a heated steering wheel in the center. Down on our gear shift, very easy to operate, but on the back there is a little button. So I'm going to put us in drive. So I'm down in drive, and I can see that up here on the screen. Now I'm going to push in this little back button here, and I see an S shows up down beside drive. That means I'm in sport mode. So if I'm driving down a road and I've got a passing lane and I'm slowly starting to lose my passing lane, and I want to get out and around somebody in a hurry, I can just hit the sport mode. It's going to give me the extra torque or responsiveness that I need. Once I get past the vehicle that I'm going past, I don't want to forget to take it back off because it is a little bit harder on gas. We also have an electronic parking brake down here, which to engage it, I simply need to lift up. And then up on my screen, I can see it is engaged. To disengage it, I'm going to push down. Now, if I just push it, it tells me I need my foot on the brake first, and then it's fully disengaged once I push it. On my steering wheel, on the right hand side, I have my cruise control, which is right here. When I turn this on, it shows up the top up here. From there, I can set, resume, cancel, increase the speed or decrease the speed. I've got my Bluetooth hands-free for my phone, so I can answer, call, or hang up with this phone button here, or make an outbound call using the voice button here. Now that voice button has multiple uses. On the navigation screen that we saw earlier, when I'm in on the destination, these buttons are all going to gray out once I start to drive. So if you want to set a destination, most times you'd have to pull over to the side of the road and set it, or set it before you go. However, you can do so using the voice recognition button, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now.
Please say or select a command.
Navigation.
Navigation. Please say or select a command from the displayed list.
Street address, 60 Baker Drive, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Please wait. Street address, showing matching locations. Please say or select an item number from the displayed list.
1.
160 Baker Drive, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Calculate route or adjust location.
Calculate route.
Calculating route. The route calculation is complete. Proceed to the nearest road.
So just like that, I've set my navigation. I never touched the screen at all. I did it hands-free, and I can do that while I'm driving. Makes it very easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of here because I don't need the navigation while I'm sitting at the dealership. Now the other thing too, for each time that it asks me to say a command or the voice prompt's kicked in, if you already know what the voice prompt is, you can press this button while it's talking to stop the talking and then just speak your command right away. On the left side of my wheel, I have my volume for my radio. Makes it very easy to set. Also, these two buttons are going to go through the presets on my radio. Now, with the presets on my radio, I've got my AM, FM, and satellite all have presets. So if I hit that left arrow, I can go back a couple stations. The right arrow goes back the other way. Makes it very easy. My OK button with the arrows around it is going to be for my driver assist display screen up here. Now I do have a back button that we'll make use of as well. This is my home screen. So on the home screen here, as you can see, it shows a little home icon. I've got a compass at the top. I've got my digital speedometer, and I have my radio info that shows me preset number 6. Now I have a little up down arrow over here. That means that if I press it down, there is another screen. From here, I get a digital speedometer and an average speed. I'm going to press and hold the OK button to reset that. And then there is a blank screen that we'll get rid of in a couple minutes. And then we're back up to the main home screen. Next screen over to the right is our average fuel economy, which is running exceptionally high, and we'll see why in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and reset that. My trip odometer shows why my fuel economy was running so high. We've only gone 15 kilometers in 50 minutes. So again, we're going to reset this one as well. But again, I see the up down arrow there, so I'm going to go down a screen. I can see my tire pressure will show up here once I start to drive, and it'll show me all 4 wheels individually with the exact pressure. Now, no matter what screen I'm on, if I get a low tire, it's going to pop up with a warning telling me low tire pressure. It's going to tell me which tire is low and what the exact pressure is. From there, when I pull into a service station or somewhere that's got an air pump, leave the car running and go to the tire that it says needs air and start putting air in. When you get to the correct pressure, the horn's going to beep to tell you to stop. If for some reason you keep putting air in or went to the wrong tire, it will hit an upper limit. If this happens, the horn's going to beep 3 times in a row. Please stop putting air in that tire. Now, when that happens, if it does happen, we ask you to do one of 2 things. Either do the same thing to the other 3 tires so that they all have the same tire pressure, and that way you get even tread wear, or start letting air back out of the tire that just beeped at you 3 times in a row. Once it gets back down to the proper pressure, the horn will beep once to tell you to stop. We'll hit the down arrow again, and we see that we're back to the start. We're going to go to the next screen on the right, and this is for our navigation. When your navigation is not set, you will have a compass and a car. It'll show what direction you're traveling in. When the navigation is set, this is going to change to show you an arrow going either straight or up to the left or up to the right, depending on which direction your destination is. It's also going to count down the distance on that screen to the destination. Next screen over to the right is going to give me my radio info or my audio info, and from this screen I have total control of everything to do with the audio, right with a push of my thumb here while I'm driving. So we already saw that we can adjust the volume, we can change the presets, but from this screen, if I press the OK button, I can also change the source of my audio so that I just select the one that I want, and then my source changes. Next screen over to the right, this screen is for my safety features. You know, there are a lot of safety features on this, and there's settings to go with each one. So we're going to go in. First thing that we're going to do is make sure that they're on. Your lane departure warning, when it's on, utilizing the camera up here behind your rear view mirror, your lane departure warning will vibrate the steering wheel if you start to drift out of your lane while doing 60 kilometers an hour or more. Our blind spot indicators are on the inside of the vehicle. On either side, it's an LED indicator that will light up and stay lit up a dull orange as long as part of a vehicle is in your blind spot. Now, let's say, for example, our driver's side indicator is lit up, and while it's lit up, we signal to go left. My indicator here is going to start to flash, and it is going to beep at me inside the vehicle, and that works at 32 kilometers an hour or higher with a moving vehicle in your blind spot. Emergency braking, now you've got front and rear, so let's talk about this. In the front, you have forward collision warning, which you will experience. I get it a couple times a week just due to the traffic around here and driving habits. When this kicks in, so let's say you're driving along at 50 kilometers an hour and a car up ahead of you slows down to turn onto a side road. They're doing about 10 around the turn. You're now doing 40 kilometers an hour faster than they are. The radar in the Nissan emblem picks up the fact that you're now within range of this vehicle and closing the gap really quick, so it will beep at you inside the vehicle and flash a warning at the top of the screen up here. That warning is either going to be yellow or red depending on how close you are when this happens. They'll finish rounding the turn and nothing else happens, and you carry on as if it never happened. Your automatic emergency braking, which is the next step in this, which is in the front. So that car either hits the brakes rounding the turn and stops because of something in front of them, or the car up ahead of you piles on the brakes. Inside the Altima here, it's going to beep at you. A warning's going to flash on the screen. The gas pedal's going to push back against your foot a little bit, but you're not going to feel it because your foot's going to be lifting to go to the brake. And if you don't get to the brake fast enough, and it can happen, I've had it happen once in the 4 years that I've had this feature, then in that case, the vehicle will start to apply the brakes for you to help avoid or minimize an oncoming collision. Now, you also have pedestrian detection as well, which works the exact same way, and instead of being run through the radar and the Nissan emblem, it's once again going to be run through the camera up in the windshield. Works the exact same way as the automatic emergency braking that we just explained, except instead of starting to apply the brakes, it's going to fully apply the brakes, and it's going to happen a whole lot faster. The main reason is the car in front of you that hit the brakes still has a little forward momentum, while the person who walked out in front of you does not. Your rear emergency braking works hand in hand with the backup camera and the rear sonar. So we're going to go through and show all of this. What's going to happen here is your backup camera's got green, yellow, and red hash marks on it for distance markers. And then you've got rear sonar, which is going to start to beep once you get within the green hash marks, and the closer you get to that object behind you, the faster the beeping will be. So here we go. We're going to check this out. I can hear some light beeping there, all because we're within the green hash marks. As soon as we start to get closer, that beeping is going to get louder, and once we get about a foot away, the rear emergency braking is going to kick in. It sounds horrible, but it is going to prevent a collision about 1 foot away from whatever's behind me. And that was it right there. You can hear the rear emergency braking kicking in. It happens about 1 foot away from whatever's behind me to avoid any type of collision. It works really well, just sounds horrible. So we're gonna back out of there. Now the other feature that is not shown here, and we're gonna see if we can trigger our headlights to come on automatically. They are set for auto. And we're gonna cover off the sensor, which is a little further over here. And that should trigger my headlights to come on, which they have. I can see right up here. While the headlights are in auto, you also have high beam assist, which looks like a little green bullet right beside there with an A in the center. When you're driving at night out on the highway, just make sure your headlights are set to auto and push them up to the high beam position. High beam assist will automatically engage, and what that's going to do is if there is anything at all in front of you, whether it's coming at you or going the same direction, it's automatically going to turn out those the high beams. The moment that there is nothing ahead of you and it's dark enough, the high beams will automatically come back on their own. So this is auto high beams, and it works amazingly well. I love this feature. Our next screen over to the right is our settings, and we're going to make a couple of adjustments in here. The first one that we're going to do is going to be under our vehicle settings. Now, Nissan vehicles will automatically unlock the vehicle when you turn the vehicle off, but we're going to set this so that when you shift into park, which somebody has set, it's automatically going to turn it off. And the main reason there is most people prefer this method as opposed to waiting for the vehicle to turn off. So we're going to back out of this screen and back out again. We're going to go to wipers and make sure that they're set for speed dependent. Now, a safety feature we have not talked about, which is off by default, is called rear door alert. If you're going to turn this on, we recommend setting it for horn and alert. What this does is if you put anything at all into your back seat, whether it's a child, an animal, groceries, a shopping bag, whatever it is, that activates rear door alert. And when you go to hop in the driver's seat and start the vehicle, it will pop up with a message here and tell you rear door alert is activated. Once you get to your destination, you turn the vehicle off. If you do not open that back door within 15 seconds, your horn is going to start beeping at you to tell you that you forgot something in the back seat. If you open the door first, everything is fine, and it will tell you as soon as you turn the vehicle off right up here, again, rear door alert is activated. So this is a feature that is turned off by default. It's great if you've got small kids or an animal that you're going to have in the back seat on a regular basis, just to make sure that if your routine does change, you're not going to forget that they're back there. So we're going to back out of there. We're going to go into maintenance, and we're going to go to oil and filter, and we want to make sure this is set for 16,000 kilometers. Your Nissan is now at 16,000 kilometers, and by default the oil control system will be set for the same thing, and it counts down. Basically at this point you need to go for an oil change once a year, or if you drive 16,000 kilometers or more a year, as soon as your vehicle pops up and tells you maintenance and oil filter, it's time to go get your oil done. We'll back out of here. We're going to go down again. We're going to customize that display in the main menu selection because there is a blank screen that we want to turn off. We're going to make sure everything else is turned on by making sure they're all white. Then we're back to the top and we can exit out. That's our customized display. Now, one of the things that we did see was clock. What I will tell you for the clock is it is easier to set your clock over here on the settings. Now, because you have a navigation system, you just want to make sure this is set to auto, nothing else is adjusted, and it will automatically take care of your clock for you without you having to worry about it. That's going to put us back over at the beginning of where we started. All right, a couple last things. We do have an auto dimming rear view mirror with home link on it. For your home link, if you want to set up your garage at home, just park in front of your garage and have your garage door opener. You're going to press and hold the garage door opener and press and hold one of these 3 home buttons at the same time, whichever one you want set to it. Your light here is going to be flashing, and I just don't remember if it's slow or fast to start, but as soon as it flips over to the opposite of what it's doing, let go of each button and your garage door is already set to the one that you want it set for. You have an intelligent key system on this, so because it's a key fob, you've got some great options. Now, if we look over at this Rogue over here, there is a little button on the handle, on the front handle, as there is on the Altima that you're in. There's one on each of the front handles and one on the trunk. As long as you have your key fob on you, because it needs to be within about 3 feet of the button that you're at, One push will unlock only the door that you're at. A second push will unlock the entire vehicle if you've got somebody else with you. And once everybody's out and the doors are all shut, one push of that button on one of the handles will lock the whole thing as well. Now, because it's a key fob, the battery in here typically lasts 2 to 4 years depending on usage. Your very first indication that it's going to be getting low is you're going to hop in, put your foot on the brake, hit the start button, and up here on the screen it's going to pop up and say incorrect key ID. That, or you may actually get a message that pops up and says low key fob battery. When that happens, don't panic, let the message go away, and then you'll be able to do it again and it should start. Time to start thinking about changing your battery at that point. If you continue to go without changing it, it's going to get harder and harder because that message will continuously pop up until you just can't start your vehicle, or maybe the key fob battery is dead and you can't get in. So just flip it over, push the switch there, and pull out the key for the driver's side door. Once you get into the vehicle, take the Nissan emblem on your key fob, put it directly against the start button, and with your foot on the brake, push that in with the key fob. It will still start your vehicle even though the battery is dead. To switch out the battery, again, take the key out, get something flat into one of these two little recessed areas here, give it a twist. That'll pop this open, and inside you'll see the battery that looks like a watch battery, just a little bit larger, and the number on the battery is the battery size. Any of your pharmacies or big box stores will sell these batteries. They're about $6 or $7 each. I do not recommend the dollar store batteries just because they only tend to last for about 3 months or so. Once you put the new battery in, clip it all back together, put your key in, you're good to go. Now on my key, I've got my panic button, or find my key in a car in a parking lot. I've got a button here to open the trunk, unlock, lock, and then to work your remote start, you're going to press lock and hold the top button for 5 seconds. This will remote start your vehicle from up to 200 feet away. Once that happens, your vehicle is going to run for up to 10 minutes or until you engage the vehicle. To engage the vehicle, you're going to get in, put your foot on the brake, and then hit the start button. The exact same thing as starting it. Now you can remote start your vehicle twice without ever getting in, and you can turn it back off by pressing and holding the top button for 2 seconds. Or you can run it once and extend it by pressing the lock and holding the top button for 5 seconds without ever getting in. Now, if you're running behind, so your vehicle's been running for 8 minutes, you know you're not getting in the next 2 minutes, do that extension, so lock and then hold the top button 5 seconds again. That'll add an additional 10 minutes to the count from wherever you're at. So if you've been running for 8 minutes, it'll run to the 18-minute mark. Once you've done a remote start and an extension, or 2 remote starts without getting in, you do need to engage the vehicle, so turn it on and give it a quick little run, and that will reset it so that you can then do it again. Congratulations again on your 2021 Nissan Altima SR. This is an absolutely amazing vehicle, lots of power, ton of comfort, and a lot of features on this. I hope this helped you refresh your memory on what you've got with your new vehicle, but if you still have any questions after going through this, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can stop into O'Regan's Nissan at 60 Baker Drive in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, or you can call, text, or email. We'll do anything that we can to help answer any questions that you have and make sure that you're comfortable with your vehicle. I look forward to seeing you when you're in for your regular service and when it's time for the next vehicle.